Hi, I'm Nigel Cannings. I'm Technical Director here at Chase ITS. We've developed the JumpTo suite of forensic and compliance tools to enable organisations to take any voice, text or video file and provide quick and meaningful analysis of their contents. This can be applied for day-to-day compliance purposes or for later forensic retrieval. We've taken the publicly available Enron dataset. This contains 500,000 email and hundreds of phone calls covering the entire period of the Enron saga. We push these through the JumpTo compliance system and you can see the results on screen. First, some explanation. In the middle we have a tag cloud which consists of the various topics that the system considers most important during any given time period. Here on the right hand side you see the date range, which in this case is defaulted to the 1st of January 2001 and covers a 1 month span. The topics that you see in the middle of the screen consist of what the system believes to have been the most important things to have happened during this time span. The bigger the font, the more important the system considers it to be. The heavier the font, the more recent the topic was last seen. This is where the human being comes into play. There's only so much a computer system can do to identify anomalies within a large body of data. Now, looking at what we have on the screen here, the first thing that we were attracted to was the phrase "end of the world." So if I click on it, what we get is a visual representation of the underlying data set as it connects to the phrase "end of the world." What you'll see on screen here is a number of, in this case, emails which relate to end of the world, and also within them other related topics. So here you see combustion turbine, Scott Laidlaw. It may be that if you're familiar with some of the issues that you're looking for, one of those tags would attract you. You'd click on it, it would centre itself, and you would see what relates to that tag again. And in this case, as you see, we have different emails related to it. If I go back to our original phrase, end of the world, we've got a number of these emails here, and if I pick one, this one here, re-end of the world, what we see is the underlying email. Now, as far as we understand, this is an email from a trader to his wife. The 22nd of November 2000 was around the time that Ken Lay was really getting nasty with his 10k filings and making things quite bad for the Enron shareholders. Now, here it says, how about some last minute banking? Now, from a forensic and compliance point of view, that's exactly the sort of email that you would be looking for to do further investigation to see whether or not the person in the from line there knew anything that was relevant to the insider trading that was going on. We're not, of course, suggesting for a second that he did, but what we are showing is how the system can lead you very quickly to data which may be of significant interest from a compliance point of view. So if I just close out of that and close again, and what I'll do now is pick a slightly wider data set, so maybe going out to March, and maybe for these purposes just look at everything which came out of our analysis of the underlying voice files. So this is telephone calls between traders at Enron. Now, again, the system has used size and font to attempt to identify things which are interesting. And in this case, the thing which we saw immediately in the middle of the screen was this phrase, "holy shit." So if I click on it, again, what we will get is a visual representation of the underlying data set. Now, in this case, we've got, as you see, a number of emails, but also this is a voice file. So if I right click on this, what we get is, and we should be hearing it in a second, is a phone call.
Oh shit, it's up to 250 now. I'm getting work. I bought like
Now, the issue there is that one phrase has led you to a phone call where you then have two traders talking about how much money they're losing. Now, if you are the managing director, the compliance officer, or coming back to things later, a lawyer looking at this type of material, you will be very interested to listen to that phone call and see why is it they're discussing these losses. Is this leading to some form of market manipulation? Is it someone who's trying to hide losses? Is it someone who is going to start cutting off electricity supplies to California to try and push up the prices? The fact is, you don't know, but what the system has done is driven you to a point in the system where you can find that out very, very quickly. Now, we've also taken our analysis a step further. So here what you see is an analysis of the voice and text files that we've put into the system. The voice files, we don't actually transcribe them, but what we do is, using some fairly advanced analytics tools, we're able to pull out key phrases that were spoken within it. Therefore, you can mix that in with text as well to provide detailed analysis of an entire data set. So we're not a voice search tool as such. We don't just break down the search query into sound-alike phonemes and attempt to find stuff. We're actually proactively mining data from voice files and combining it with the text files. That's not to say that we can't do straight search through the voice and the text. If I just click here on the search tab, I'm going to put in Ken Lay, my typing's up to it, click search, and what we get back is a series of results. In this case, looking at it, these are all emails talking about Ken Lay. But where things really move on for us now is into the deeper analysis, not just of the text itself, but of what's going on from a stress perspective within a body of email and voice. So what we've done here is created something called the emotion index, and we can apply this to any voice or data set. And what you see is these peaks over time, and this represents negative emotion within phone calls, within emails. And what we've done is we've taken the publicly available Enron timeline, which you can find on Wikipedia, and let's see what we've got here. If I click on 30th of January 2002, this is around the time that Clifford Baxter, as you see, was found dead from an apparent suicide. So what we're able to do is, using these peaks, we're able to suggest time periods that are worthy of analysis from a forensic or a compliance point of view. So this is a very, very brief overview of what we do with voice and text files. You can come to the website at chaseits.co.uk, see further examples of how we turn voice files into what we call documents, which is a combination of voice and text, to effectively make a voice file as searchable and retrievable as a text file. So many thanks for watching today.